everyone, and welcome to Sorta My Podcast. My name is Vincent Herman, Vin the Human, sitting to my left.
James Odle, Alpha Spectre.
And right across from him,
Travis Herman, Dr. T. Neal.
Guys, you can like Sorta My Brand or our nerd news page, Sorta My Comics on Facebook, follow Sorta My Podcast on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to Sorta My Brand on YouTube. You're listening to this somewhere, whether it's SoundCloud, iTunes. While you're there, why not rate, review, comment.
Also, comment.
And you can find all of our personal social media stuff down in the description below. But before we get into all of our news and all of our comic stuff, actually, I do kind of want to talk about some little news stuff in our little banter portion here. Because, oh my god, guys, there's so much, like, seriously, there's, like, so much comic theft in the news this week.
Oh, I read about that.
Well, like the more minuscule one was the guy from Midtown Comics who
Was that the guy that jumped out of the second story?
jumped out of the second story window. What's driving me nuts is they haven't released what comic he stole. What he was trying to get away with.
Must have been fucking good.
Like, I mean, I don't know, man.
I don't know, because if it was something that good, they probably would have stated it by now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he probably just loaded up a bag full of stuff. Like, just, grab a few books off the wall.
The reports are it was one book.
One book?
Yeah, just one book.
Was there a value amount?
No, they haven't said anything about it yet. Yeah, like, they haven't released at all what he was trying to take.
Then he must have grabbed something. Like, if it made him jump out of a second-story window...
Well, this
unless he didn't know anything about comics, so he's like, I bet this is worth some shit.
Yeah, I'm saying...
Per dollar bin comic.
I'm saying this is obviously not a very smart guy. Because instead of going for the door, the straight shot to the door, he goes out a second fucking story window.
I know how to get out of here.
Of course he gets hurt. And still tries to crawl his way to the getaway car before being detained. So, like, yeah.
We're obviously not getaway car?
Yeah, there was a getaway car. We're not dealing with a genius here. But Joe Quesadas also
I saw that.
He had a handyman. I guess him and his wife went out of town or something, on vacation or something. And this handyman that they had hired put rags over all the security cameras and then, like, messed with him or disabled him or something after that, and then moved him and his girlfriend into Joe Quesadas' house. They were living there for the whole weekend. It didn't state whether they were living there after they came back, but they came back and they noticed all the shit was missing. And then a buddy of his told him that he found a portrait of his wife, Joe Quesadas' wife, on auction. And shit, and I guess this guy stole like $39,000 worth of fucking original artwork and comics and shit like that from Joe Quesadas' house. Like,
now he knew what he was taking, I guess.
Yeah, this guy.
He knew.
This guy had a whole fucking thing going on. And the weird thing is the moving in. Like, why would you move you and your girlfriend into this dude's house? Like. Okay. Live it up for maybe a night. Sure, if we're gonna break the fucking law and the guy's not home for a week and you got full access, yeah, fine. Okay, spend a night there, but dude, really moving in? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what if you're like watching some celebrity's house and you're just like, no, I can stay there a night. You know?
Yeah, right? Why not? Totally. If it were me, like, and I'm like, not, like, if it were me as me, the way I would do anything, like, I'm not gonna steal shit from him, of course. Because that's not me.
You have respect for, for the man that he is.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, I mean, if anything would happen with me in that artweek, like, I'd probably see a bunch of it. When I saw him, I'd be like, look, all this shit is bitching. You're amazing. For that first night, I probably would be tempted to, like, spend the night in the house or something. Oh, yeah. Like, I'd probably eat some of his food.
Eat some of his food. Yeah. Sleep in his bed. You, like, wiggle down in his, like, 1,200 thread count sheets that are softer than a baby's butt.
Got his onesie on.
Like, and you just, like, wiggle yourself into a comfortable spot in the very center of his bed, and you're like, I'm Joe Quesada now.
Yeah, for sure.
I can see a whole montage.
You guys also you guys have never guessed what I put back at Walmart. Okay,
Was it
I
the
put it back on the shelf.
You'll never
no,
guess it.
it was the no, because I was looking for that 4-hour or 3-hour copy of Superman. They didn't have it at ours. But anyways, no, what I put back was the Criterion Collection edition of Armageddon that just came out. Dude, it's got tons of special features. It's got unreleased footage, gag reels, like all this shit that's not on any of the other things. Like it's the Criterion Collection. I love that movie. Like I don't care. I know it's stupid. Yeah, it's well. I mean, like, okay, if you look at it, yeah, it's not a great movie, but
Hey.
I still love it.
Hey,
yeah.
fun fact: they're actually putting a project into motion at NASA to land on an asteroid and redirect it into the moon's orbit.
See, not
And
such
they're
a
gonna
stupid
need a
movie now.
They're gonna need a couple oil riggers to go up there, and you're the only team to do it.
They're gonna send Bruce Willis.
They have no other.
You did it in the film. You're gonna do it
It's
now.
in the contract for the movie. But while I was there, I also saw they've got BBS for $10 on Blu-ray.
What?
Yeah, I was tempted to buy it, but and
Was it the ultimate cut?
yeah,
Really?
yeah, it was the movie. But yeah, the whole reason I didn't get BBS at that moment is because it was something I'm going to mention in Phone Booth News later. I'm going to buy that copy because if I'm going to get this movie, that's going to be the reason why. And you'll find that out once we get into this not so Halloween episode. Yeah, I really tried. Like nothing came out that was really like the first thing we're going to talk about before we get into comic books. The first topic is the closest thing to anything like Halloween related. We're actually gonna have to pause here in a second so we can watch this trailer. But it's New Mutants, which is totally different than what I thought it was.
Yeah, right?
So yeah, New Mutants trailer just came out, and this is, you know, if it wasn't for the Marvel logo at the beginning and that chick saying mutants, you had no idea this is a superhero. This is about superpowers or anything like that. It is
Comes off pretty
straight
creepy.
up horror. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the dude with the mask, the fucking the faces coming out of the wall and
The
shit.
fucking fire. The
fire
fucking
hand.
Well,
fire hand.
that
Jump scares.
I was talking with Lucas up at the Geek yesterday.
Yeah.
Pretty sure the villains or like the bad guys, whatever, are the purifiers.
Okay. See, now, all right, here's the tricky thing with me. Like, I thought about doing the research for this, but I knew it would be like reading any X-Men comic. So I knew I would get
And then,
a whole...
and then you knew that you'd have to read like about 300 comics
guys
to
would-
really understand.
I'd be an hour
Couple
late getting
timelines.
Travis. You'd show up and be like, I'm still researching New Mutants. Yeah, so, like, I don't know any of these characters. Like, I really don't know any of these characters. I don't know anything about the what did you say they were?
Okay.
Purifier.
The Purifiers.
The Purifiers.
Yeah, I don't know anything about them.
Like, okay, the one girl with like the framed up fucking hair, like the bangs, long blonde hair and all that, that's
Okay.
Magic.
Okay.
She just kind of got redone here recently as a bigger character in some of Marvel's stuff.
Okay.
She's the one. She's got like the little dragon, the big ass sword that has like the things coming out
Oh,
of it.
okay. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen
that's-
her
that's
in
Magic.
some artwork. Yeah.
She's a fucking badass.
Okay.
Like that sword is just pure energy.
Damn.
Maisie Williams' character is like some sort of werewolf-ish character.
Okay. Is she She-Wolf? Is that a DC character or is that a Marvel character?
I don't know. Like someone posted earlier a picture of like each cast member like from the trailer with their respective characters from like a comic issue. One of the guys is like this shadow controlling guy or something. Like he was just nothing but shadow with red eyes. And he looks fucking badass as a comic book character.
Pretty cool.
And
It always
But, like-
changes when he goes to film, you know.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, some things in comics don't translate to film very well. Like, I mean, fucking Hawkeye's costume. Could you imagine seeing that shit
Yeah, right. I was just about to bring up Night Owl's costume. For the Watchmen. I liked what they did for the movie. Way more like practical.
But yeah, like
new era.
I'm excited for it. But aren't they saying that it's supposed to tie in to like the Deadpool and Cable and all that?
See, I don't know. Like my first question when I saw the trailer was, I thought New Mutants was supposed to be the next step after Logan because it was going to have X-23 in it or something. Because didn't they call those children the New Mutants in Logan? Yeah. See, I thought New Mutants was about those kids.
I don't know if they called them the New Mutants or if there's a whole generation of New Mutants, coming or something to that effect.
I really feel like they called them the New Mutants and so I thought that's what this movie was. Like this movie actually popped out way faster than
which kind of makes me leery.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how long it's been since we heard about it, but it hasn't been too long.
I'm so sorry. For some reason, I was under the impression that it was a show.
It's a movie.
You're thinking of the Runaways?
Well, they're doing a Runaway.
Maybe they're doing
Gifted
some sort of
just came out.
Gifted, Inhumans, which is apparently a big bust.
So that is going to be a movie.
That's MCU, not Fox X-Men stuff.
Yeah, if that is going to be a movie, it looks like it will be pretty scary, and that'll be.
It looks like really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, I want to go see it. I generally go see every superhero movie, anyways. I'm not even really that invested in the X-Men movies, but I go and watch.
If it ties in with the Deadpool stuff, that's pretty rad too.
Yeah. I mean, and that's another reason to see it is because just in case that is like something. Who knows? Because any one of these characters could end up in X-Force. We don't know the whole X-Force team lineup, except for we know the Wolverine won't be in it, which is bullshit. Right. We also know the X-23 won't be in it, which is also bullshit. What?
Fucking Fox bullshit.
I felt you get all excited.
One of the characters is Cannonball.
Okay. Oh, cool.
The dude that's got his arm in the sling is Cannonball.
All right. Well, let's move on from this though, and let's go ahead and hit the racks with the. I don't know. That was a bad transition.
It was.
Let's hit the rack. How about let's hit the dollar bin and talk about some Halloween themed comic books that we've been.
That
reading.
is indeed a good place to find Halloween themed comic books.
We
know they don't do those anymore.
Get your spook on.
No, well, last year they had a Halloween themed Punisher issue that came out. I bought that. I think it was an annual or a one shot or something. But
they need more, is what I'm saying.
I did look.
Maybe it just depends on
who's
coming out around what time.
Yeah, well, I mean, also you got two companies that are kind of like Marvel's doing their whole legacy thing right now. DC's so many books are getting involved in this rebirth stuff now, especially with Dark Knight's Metal going on. And I guess you could argue Dark Knight's Metal because, oh my god, I'm caught up and it's so fucking awesome.
I'm not caught up yet.
I'm so caught up and it's so fucking awesome.
I did manage to score a copy of the Red Death.
Oh yeah.
Or, is it Red Death?
Yeah, Batman the Red Death.
The mall location of the Geek had a couple copies.
There you go.
Nowhere else has had a copy that I could find.
Yeah. Have you been buying? Are you buying all the tie-ins? Are you trying to get all of them?
No.
I'm
not getting the tie-ins.
Now that I'm 10 issues in because of tie-ins and the side issues and shit, there's no way I'm not buying.
I'm getting the one shots.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the one shots, especially the Batman Who Laughs.
Yeah.
Like hot damn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the But like the tie-ins, like they threw the Suicide Squad tie-in in my pool. Yeah. I'm like, I'll read the tie-ins that
this is part with Harley driving the death bus off of a fucking cliff, and Poison Ivy catches all of them. It was cool. It's pretty great though. So you could argue though that Dark Knight's Metal is in theme with the month, I guess. But we went ahead and read some actual either horror or specifically Halloween themed books. I'm going to go ahead and start us out. from this one because I feel like I've got the biggest one here.
Oh,
but
we can compare size.
We can go tit for tat on that one. So
whip it out.
Well, I'll have you know that I'm talking about the entire collection of Hellboy comics today.
Shit.
So.
All right. So the first thing I'm going to talk about here is Batman: The Dark Knight Annual #1, which came out around the this one came out around the New 52. So in this issue, it is Halloween night, and Oswald Cobblepot, the Mad Hatter, and Scarecrow have all received invitations to meet. All of these invitations being from the opposite members. Like, I think Mad Hatter's was from Penguin, Penguin's was from Mad Hatter, and Scarecrow's was from both of them. And it turns out they've all been led to this place. Well, they're walking around, and I think this was Arkham Asylum that they're at, too.
It's a Clue situation.
It's the Arkham Detention Facility for Youth, which I guess they all spent some time in. And so they're walking around, they're trying to figure this out, and they deduce that it's Batman that's done this all to them.
It's always Batman's fault.
So they think he's there, they think he's stalking them, and it's really, really entertaining to see these guys interact in this way, because at one point they're cracking on Batman. They're like, they're cracking on his voice. They say something to the effect, Jervis Tetch makes the joke, he's like, and he's so talkative. And they're like, oh no, it was Penguin that says he's so talkative. And Scarecrow replies with, hi, can barely get a complete sentence out of him. It's like he's paid by the syllable. It's like he's paying for the syllables. And then Jervis is like, would it kill him to have a conversation just once? Like, how's your day? And then the right hook. So, stuff like that. It was really fun. But what's also great is just the situations where they keep seeing Batman, like tree limbs being lit up by lightning.
A shadow on the wall there.
Yeah, shadows on the walls. That at one point, at a certain point, they decide they're going to make a break for it. They're going to try and get out of this house and split up and like lose him. So they decide they're going to go through the hedge maze out back. And
that's a horrible idea.
Yeah, and then they're gonna break through on like the east side wall or something, and then split up from there. So they get to the maze, but one of them knocks over this little musical merry-go-round thing that plays Three Blind Mice, and so it's all three of them running around this maze, getting lost, like getting scareder and scareder, while this song is playing throughout the background. Eventually, they end up seeing something hung up. I don't know what that is. Okay. It's a bunch of bats, like collective. I don't know if bats actually do this, but the way they're formed together, they all look like Batman.
No, I don't think you can see a natural formation of bats making Batman outside. No.
I don't know if they all huddle together or anything like that. I don't know, like. I'm not a zoologist here, but
generally they just hang from stuff.
But then, and then Penguin makes another joke. He's like, I believe that's what they call irony. So they end up heading back into the house, and they start getting into an argument. And I believe what happens here is, I think Scarecrow's fear gas gets activated. By accident.
No.
And so they all start freaking out, having these visions, getting scared and shit, before one by one their visions end up getting them thrown down the stairs. They pass out and they wake up in the morning time. Finally, we find out what Batman's been up to this whole time. Batman took a night off. He stayed home.
There's a cheerful little picture of him there, like a normal guy.
He stayed home, and Alfred's like, "You didn't even like not a mugger in an alley, nothing." And he was like, "I find that sometimes it's best to leave them up to their own devices. So I caught up on some stationery, and then you see that he's the one who printed the letters still there. So he kept them occupied all Halloween night and took a night off."
Wow, that is fucking genius.
Yes.
Though.
And you know what sucks? My son didn't want this book anymore. He didn't understand it.
Maybe it's not enough Batman for him.
We were going through his books and picking out like, all right, buddy, your collection's getting a little like, you know,
it's getting a little stale.
It's getting a little cluttered here. Let's like start going through and seeing what's in here.
Oh.
And this is one of the ones
Let's
he didn't
see
want.
what Dad can keep
And
out of your
I
shit.
flipped through it and I was like, wait a minute, that looks fucking cool.
Hey, Rick.
I was like, wait a minute, that looks fucking cool. So,
Hey,
yeah, I kept it. Now that's my book.
You ever read The Dark Knight, Morty?
So,
Morty, get your
switching gears here. I also read Batman Long Halloween.
It will be a long Halloween.
What is that?
What's
going on?
That is.
Oh, did you open a new one?
That
That
is fucking delicious.
Oh,
Hold on, don't take a drink of that to sully your taste for that.
Okay,
That's pretty sweet.
That is.
I just hope
Better
you
than that
just
last
told me
one,
to put
whatever
down
that was.
beers. Well, that's really good.
That is really good.
That's really, really good. Okay.
All right.
So much editing I gotta do on this one. So yeah, I also read the Batman Long Halloween.
Please.
Okay.
Please
All right.
don't.
This is not gonna be like.
Why don't you
when
give
I
us
did-
the short Halloween, eh?
This is not gonna be like when I did Wonder Woman Earth One.
Thank
It
God.
took 45 minutes to talk about a book. No, just and it is kind of hard to give you a short synopsis of this, but the best I can say is that one, I thought this was a Calendar Man story. It is not. It is one of the best representations of a Batman detective whodunit type story.
Ooh.
Yeah, really, really great because sometimes it has you thinking.
This person.
Some of the characters get convinced that it's Bruce Wayne, and then Batman gets convinced that it's Harvey Dent, and then they also go through the usual.
That's
suspects.
some of the best. That's some of the best twists is when it's on the main character. Like, oh,
Yeah.
it could be. You know.
Yeah, and
Could be
and
that.
it also doesn't shy away from bringing in all sorts of characters, and it's never just like a wasted cameo. Like early on, there's a thing with Solomon Grundy, and Solomon Grundy ends up coming back and playing a part in it and stuff. You got situations. Penguin at one point, Poison Ivy gets involved, and that turns out to be kind of a dirty under the table deal situation. Catwoman is all throughout
getting
this.
Poison Ivy under the table, you never know what you're going to get with that.
Right.
Probably
In this story, we also, we see Harvey Dent start to lose it and eventually become Two-Face. And you can also tell that the Dark Knight, the movie, took a lot of influence from this book, just the way some of this plays out. So, yeah, it was really great, really intriguing, really, it makes you, it gets your brain working. It does, because at some point you're trying to figure it out. Who did it? Who really was behind all of this? But what I can say is that this focuses around the Falcone and Maroni crime family disputes and how members of the Falcone family are being murdered one by one thematically by what holiday they're killed on.
Oh.
Like that's one of the biggest elements in this. Because that's why Jim Gordon, Batman, and Harvey Dent are all working together. Is trying to put to bed the crime in Gotham, much like in the Dark Knight movie.
Now, see, in the show Gotham, like that was some of my favorite stuff in the earlier episodes.
In the season
all
one,
of the crime family stuff.
Yeah, it was really, really well played out. But here's the thing: this is written by Jeff Loeb with Tim Sale doing the art. So you've got classic type comic book artwork here. Yeah, the Joker plays a big part in here too.
This is one of the first power teams for Batman. Too.
Oh yeah. Before you had your Scott Snyder, Jonathan Glapion, you had Loeb and Sale. Yeah. And it's hard to argue who's done better. Most people would say Scott Snyder these days, but I don't know. I read this book, and I can't wait to read it again.
But the thing is, like, even with Loeb, you throw later on, you have Jim Lee come into play, and you get the Hush storyline.
Yep.
You get Heart of Hush game, like right after.
Hush is another great one that I have on my shelf.
There's all kinds of things that come from this team.
Yeah.
And like the Snyder Capullo, Snyder Glapion, like all of that is good shit. Don't get me wrong. but you know they know to pay homage and respect.
Yeah,
to
I'm just
those
saying,
that
like,
came before.
I'm saying what the popular opinion would be. It would be the Scott Snyder
Yeah.
team. But, I mean, okay, so Endgame. I was just telling Travis about Endgame earlier, and I was telling him about how really cool it was. You know, Batman at the time was like a New York Times bestseller. It was on the list. You know, so they were doing really good, and people would say Endgame is one of the greatest Batman stories of all time. And I've read Endgame. I like Endgame. I have it, but I've never read it since the first time I read it.
Yeah.
And I'll probably revisit it again eventually, but I'm telling you right now, Long Halloween, I'm gonna grace these pages again well before I hit Endgame.
Like stuff like this that has a lot of rereadability.
Yeah,
because there, like stuff like this, there's always things in there that catch your eye that you didn't see sometime. Like in previous readings.
I can't tell you how many times I've actually read the Marvel Zombies versus Army of Darkness. I'm going to talk about, but I've probably been up to my 4th time reading it, and I have like 100. No joke, like 100 Army of Darkness, Evil Dead comics I have not read at all.
Right.
This way, there's just some that stick out to you. And Long Halloween sounds awesome.
There's so much in this book that people know about Batman. Like anyone on the street could probably tell you about Batman. And I don't know if it all came from this book or this book just utilized it so well that I would believe that. But, you know, none of those people have read The Long Halloween. So, I mean, that at least tells you it's a very influential book as well, encapsulating all this classic Batman stuff. So I had a great time reading this. The copy I have here, the label price is like $25. Fucking worth it. Totally.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can find it on sale, sure, but get this book. Yeah.
I mean, shit, it's what, 13 issues in one collection?
Yeah, it's 13 issues, which I believe at the time were $2.99.
So I mean, that's like almost $40 worth of singles and a $25 thing.
Yeah, and it also has like artwork in the back. It has an opening from Scott Snyder, I think. The introduction is by Chris Nolan and David S. Goyer. All right, who wants to go next?
I mean, I can try to take the wheel here.
All right.
Well, actually, both of the comics I'm going to talk about, I've actually read twice at least. And the first one coming up is Army of Darkness versus ReAnimator. And forever, for those people who love the ReAnimator film, I only watched it once, and it was after I bought these 4 issues, but I hadn't even read the comic book. So I went ahead and watched ReAnimator.
It's a cult classic. A lot of people love that movie.
Yeah, I do remember it being like pretty innovative. It's pretty creepy. Some stuff I didn't see coming. Very sci-fi. I liked it. Some of the details I don't really remember about the character who comes up in the story. Army of Darkness versus ReAnimator is a 4-issue story arc where Ash Williams fights H.P. Lovecraft's Herbert West.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, basically, that's the big feud here. It's the scientist from the ReAnimator.
Yeah. I've never seen the movie.
So. Oh, you haven't?
Yeah, I just know about it. Really.
Yeah, he brings people back to life. It's in the title.
Right.
But it picks up after the Shop Till You Drop storyline with Army of Darkness, and I probably have some of those issues, but I haven't read them. They're somewhere in the midst of all of them, but it picks up with Ash is getting arrested in an Elvis suit and an S-Mart, and there's like on-scene reporters and everything, and apparently he's been accused of being an S-Mart slasher, where he killed everybody in the entire story, and him and Sheila are the only ones who are left from Army of Darkness.
Kind of like what they did in the show where Ash's hometown blamed him for these murders.
Yeah.
Oh, well, blamed him for everything that happened in the cabin. They called him Ashy Slashy.
Yeah, Ashy Slashy, and they even had a little jingle to go along with it.
Yeah.
Like Ashy Slashy, Heaven and Hell, something.
Yeah.
But
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, I guess after he gets arrested, he goes to jail, and the judge has sentenced him to 6 months. And
for all these murders.
No, not 6 months. Never mind, my bad. He was in jail for 6 months, and apparently during that time, it inspired 4 fictional novels, an off-Broadway play, 2 TV movies, and it's in the comic book.
Okay.
And even a movie about his case called The Army of Darkness.
Nice.
So yeah, it's like I don't know what kind of fourth wall that is. Apparently, he's sentenced to Arkham Asylum for
Really?
mental.
Actual Arkham Asylum?
I'm thinking, since I haven't seen the ReAnimator movie in so long, I'm thinking that's what there might be an Arkham Asylum.
But you're sure it said Arkham in the thing?
Yeah.
Wow, how did they not get sued for that one?
Yeah, Arkham Asylum. And maybe, I don't know. Maybe fans can clear that one up for us, because there's so much Army of Darkness stuff I haven't even caught up on.
Yeah. Hey guys,
it gets crazy.
Comment down below. Let us know about that whole
Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Asylum.
Yeah. And but apparently he's sentenced there, and Herbert West is in care of him, like he's supposed to be taking care of him and all that. And but at the same time, Herbert West is working on a new formula for his ReAnimator like serum. And at the same time, there's this guy helping him out with the help of the Necronomicon. So he's using evil spirits and all that to be able to help Herbert West come up with a new formula, I guess. Throughout most of it, Ash is throwing out a bunch of his, one-liners. Can't really think of them right off the rip unless I went through
Whipping it up.
Yeah, but plenty of them from the movies. Even the show, he still uses some of them. In the end of it all, they're trying to open up a portal to the old ones who wrote the Necronomicon with the help of Herbert West, bringing people back to life and shit. It's pretty gruesome. At one point, Ash is sent to a mirror world, a dimension where it's basically like Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, okay.
And one of the characters makes a jokes about a Deadite must have consumed CS lately because C.S. Lewis, and apparently the mirror dimension takes on whatever it's consumed recently. So they're like joking about it, eating H.P. Lovecraft and eating C.S. Lewis. And but eventually he breaks out of the mirror dimension and stops West from opening the portal and all kinds of stuff like that. You got to read it. It's pretty good if you like Evil Dead or the ReAnimator, which is a movie I'm definitely gonna have to revisit here soon.
Yeah, I think there are a few sequels too. I'm not. Don't quote me on that, but I think so.
Right. It's one of them cult classics.
And then you brought another big boy to the table here.
This one I've read more times than the ReAnimator. Marvel's Zombies versus Army of Darkness. And this one gets pretty cool because I do have the comic books that lead up to this with Army of Darkness. How it starts off is Ash dies and he's in heaven. That's how Marvel Zombies works. First starts. He had just died, and apparently a guy called the Sentry. I don't know much about him.
Oh, yeah, he's
the Sentry. He showed up in heaven and started devouring.
Some people are
everybody.
like, that's Marvel's Superman.
Oh yeah. Okay. This is the first time I'm actually hearing him. I guess I haven't read a whole lot of Marvel, but apparently he shows up in heaven. He starts eating all kinds of people. It says consuming.
Okay.
I don't know if he's eating them.
How does his powers work?
I'm gonna actually have to go back and read some of these.
Well,
I don't know much about
this. May apply to the beginning of the Marvel Zombies outbreak. That's why.
I mean,
he may have already contracted the virus.
Was it him that started the whole thing? I can't remember.
Yes.
I've read the first 3 or 4
Marvel Dead Days.
Marvel Zombies.
Well, the Dead Days are the first ones, apparently. And that's where this takes place, is during Dead Days. And Sentry would have to be in there somewhere.
Yeah, I forgot that he started the whole thing.
Yeah, apparently Ash sees the Sentry in heaven when he's there. And that's, I guess, where it would first start. He's consuming souls that are going in heaven. I don't know.
Fair enough, whatever.
But Ash, apparently Ash and the Sentry are banished to a different reality. Like, somebody didn't want them there, killing people in heaven. So they gotta be somewhere else. And Ash falls into a dumpster in New York. He wakes up and he sees Thunderball and Daredevil fighting. And immediately he helps Thunderball because Daredevil's dressed in devil outfit. He's like, oh, this guy's gotta be bad.
Yeah.
He's in a devil costume. And like he makes peace with the fact that there's superhumans in this reality that he's in now. Because he's no stranger to reality and time hopping and all that. And anyways, he tries to talk to The Avengers a billion times tries to explain it to him. Everybody keeps dismissing him, and especially messing up with the Daredevil Thunderball situation. They're like, this guy's an idiot. We gotta, just avoid him, get him away from us. And at the same time, they're getting a distress call from Jarvis. They go off to investigate that. So while Ash is stuck on this random part of town, the Avengers are dealing with something that we don't just quite know about. Eventually, Ash runs right back into him, and they're like, oh, not this guy again. And he's talking about the Necronomicon. He knows, right? He knows what's going on. He knows why there's apparently zombies eating people, because he got a prophecy. He heard a prophecy when he was coming to that reality.
Okay.
He was told that this dimension was going to be destroyed as well. And that's all he had to go off of. So when he got there, he didn't really expect, superhero zombies eating each other, and Captain America asked him to take Ash away again, like, Spider-Man, you have a job, go get Ash out of here. Yeah. And as soon as they take off, they look back, Captain America has been eaten by the Sentry, and so is the rest of them. They're all fucking ripped open and shit. Captain America, I'm pretty sure, only has like part of his head, and it's gruesome.
Yeah. And
the artwork for all this is really cool. But yeah, the Sentry started it all, and eventually Spider-Man gets bitten too. And in the Marvel Dead Days comics, Spider-Man goes to go check on Aunt May, and that's right where I'm at here. He goes to check on Aunt May and Mary Jane, but ends up eating them in the Dead Days comics. And in his thought bubbles, he's like, oh man, I really just couldn't help myself, but he's like distraught about it. Yeah. But at the same time, he's like, well, they were so tasty.
Because it's Spider-Man too, and so like a zombie Spider-Man would, of course, be so fucking conflicted.
Right? Yeah. He's like, he's still got his problems with everything. Yeah. Trying to just be your neighborhood friendly zombie, Spider-Man. Yeah.
But this is like Ash gets thrust into this world and kind of changes the timeline a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely does. When Ash gets there and they keep dismissing him, Spider-Man takes him away and he leaves. Then he meets the Punisher, walks up to him, and he's like, yeah, I'll set you free. I'll help you do whatever you want to do to get rid of all these zombies if you help me first. And then they go kill Fisk, Hammerhead, and another guy just real quick. They're like, bah, bah, bah. And they're like, we got to get down to the ground floor. They get down there, and the Wrecking Ball crew devours the Punisher. He's gone after a couple scenes. Everybody's coming and going real quick in these panels. But so Ash takes off with his bag of guns, and then he sees a damsel in distress, Dazzler, and blows a hole through Bucky Barnes' head to save her. Yeah, and it's gruesome. Every shot's gruesome, and you definitely got Ash like hitting on all the women. That's another reason they don't listen to him. But at one point, Dazzler takes Ash to go find the Necronomicon to stop all the zombies at Doctor Strange's mansion. And they walk up, and they're standing there talking about the mansion, and you see Ash get pulled off a panel, and Ash's brains are being eaten by Howard the Duck.
Oh
a zombie Howard the Duck. Yeah. And he's like, tastes like chicken, all that. Yeah. It's like real punny. But it turns out that's the Ash of the Marvel Zombies dimension.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Ashley Williams from the Marvel Universe.
Yeah. He's been working in S-Mart the whole time.
He's just a normal guy, never runs up.
He's working at S-Mart and he's selling some TVs, and he sees all the Marvel zombies eating people on the TV, and they're all fighting. And at that moment, Ash from that dimension grabs a chainsaw and boomstick from S-Mart, and he's like, I'm out of here. Keep the check or whatever.
Holy shit.
And he goes out and he gets killed. Okay. But at the same time, the Ash from that just came from heaven.
The Darkness universe.
Yeah, our main Ash, who was just in heaven. He comes up and he sees...
Our Ash, who art in heaven.
Yeah. He sees the other Ash getting eaten by Howard the Duck. And he comes up and he chops Howard the Duck in half.
Oh, shit.
Well, later on, eventually...
No, not Howard!
Yeah, Howard.
I'm surprised. Okay. It's kind of strike to my pride that Howard the Duck's the one who fucking takes down Ash.
Yeah, right.
But, it could have been anybody else. But
you could argue that this our main Ash has
He didn't die.
He has experience. He's been fighting for a while. You know, he's got a whole thing.
True,
But that Ash had never done any of that stuff.
He just came about.
Yeah, he had just grabbed a chainsaw. Yeah.
And that Ash was a product of Marvel Zombies. Yeah. But eventually they find out the book's not at Strange's mansion. They go to Doom's mansion because he also has a huge library. His castle's being taken down by Goliath and all kinds of mischief.
Wait, Goliath's still alive in this?
He's a giant zombie crushing down.
Well, this book was around
pre-Civil War, then,
right?
Okay.
Yeah, it's older. That's for sure. I hadn't got it till
and also it's an alternate universe.
That's okay. Yeah, that's fair.
In this universe, Richard Reeds decides to give the virus to the rest of the Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Yeah, he decides to give it to the rest of the Fantastic Four to experiment on them. Reed Richards experimenting on them, thinking that the zombie virus is going to be a higher form of life. He's convinced that this is gonna.
Well, yeah. No. Yeah. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm remembering something about a zombie Reed Richards,
here's
starting off a whole other thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Doom tells him all about it, and eventually Ash gets locked in his dungeon because he's talking some smack to Doom, calling him Domo Orgato, Mr. Roboto, and all that, Mr. Tin Man, and all that.
Of course.
And but eventually Ash breaks out of confinement and finds a Doom bot, puts on the Doom uniform. So there's an Ash walking around as Doom. And he gets access to the library and he finds the Necronomicon.
Of course.
Yeah, he finds out that all the zombies aren't due to the Necronomicon. It's an actual virus that's out there. And there's nothing Ash can do to stop it. He has no help. But what he does is he works with that Necronomicon to turn all the people who have died back to life to fight the zombified superheroes.
Okay.
Because the superheroes aren't actually dead. But the people who have died get brought back to life.
Legit died before all this shit.
Yeah, the superheroes just got bit and they got infected. But in the end, Ash basically saves the day by doing that, and Doom lets him go through a portal to get to a different dimension so he can get home because he's not supposed to be there. And he has his choice of a couple different places. One is post-apocalyptic London, just like the alternate ending of a movie.
I know that now.
He doesn't choose it, though. Yeah. And then he finds one, he's like, this place is too smelly. Must be New York. This is home. And then he hops out of the portal, and the portal closes, and he turns around, and it's a Marvel universe where all the superheroes are werewolves instead.
Oh, that's cool.
So Ash has ran into another fucked up situation, and that's the end of the story. And all the comics that came out for this series are all based on really famous covers.
Did they ever do a sequel to this?
No, but they kept doing the Marvel Zombies. They have Marvel
yeah. There's a new one out now.
Yeah, and apparently he was in it. But all the comics that came out for this,
all the covers.
Yeah, all the covers were referenced by the Uncanny X-Men 141.
I see the Superman versus Amazing Spider-Man there.
Yeah, Captain America #1 where he's punching Hitler. It's instead it's Ash punching Hitler.
Nice.
A zombie Hitler, I think.
Yeah, that would be great.
And all kinds of Wolverine #1. It's great though. Great artwork.
That sounds like a lot of fun to read.
Yeah, it's a good storyline.
I can see why you've read that 4 times.
The way that all the heroes talk while being zombies, they're like, yeah, we all really want to eat people, but Captain America's like, but we got a routine to stick to, we're a unit and all that. And,
Cap is still being Cap.
At one point, Wolverine hands the Necronomicon off to Hulk to use as toilet paper. Yeah, that's a good point right there. Yeah.
All right, so Odle, how are you gonna beat that?
Well, okay. What? I'm covering something that was recently in Rebirth. Well, I say recently, but it was last year?
Yeah, but I mean, in comics, that's
Rebirth seems like
with a lot of books where they only come out every month, a year is only 12 issues.
That's true. Yeah. So, I mean, Okay, what I'm talking about tonight is DC's Night of the Monster Men, which was their first event that they did.
Yeah, I forgot you were going to do that one.
Yeah. So, like, I completely skipped reading these issues because I was pulling all 3 of these.
Mm-hmm.
And I just skipped reading these issues because I'm like, I don't really want to bounce back and forth between book to book. I know they come out at similar times, but then everyone said like this was just a crappy story and
I
everything else.
DC has proved that you better fucking get used to it. Like,
right?
Yeah.
Like if there's an event, it's gonna span at least 15 different
DC
books.
and Marvel, man.
God,
Because I just had to go in and tell them, I was like, because I'm still pulling Amazing Spider-Man, and they've got their Venom Incorporated story coming up, which I covered on the last episode of Sorta by Podcast, number 22.
Which that spans through Venom.
Yeah, there's going to be an Alpha and an Omega, and then there's going to be, I think there are like 3 issues in between. I'm not sure if 2 of them are Venom and 1 is Amazing Spider-Man, or if it's the other way around.
I don't know.
But yeah, so I told him, I was like,
both, so I'm covered.
I was like, I don't want to pull Venom, but I do want to pull the Venom Incorporated books.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to go tell him that. Fucking assholes.
But yeah, with the Night of the Monster Men thing, like I was told, like it's a completely standoff story. It doesn't really have precedence in anything going on in the current stories, anything like that. So I just opted to skip it when it was current.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, Night of the Monster Men, you know, kinda Halloween-ish. Like it doesn't take place on Halloween night. It actually takes place on the night of a hurricane in the DC universe.
Hell, it's got the name Monster in it. Why not throw it in there?
Yeah, sure, why not? But and honestly, I thought it was better than what people kind of gave it credit for. First of all, like the jacked Hugo Strange threw me off.
Yeah.
Like when he was in like it was the first part of it. He was lifting weights and dropped him and everything. I'm like, who the fuck is that?
That's the thing about it I didn't like. It was like, oh, Hugo Strange wants to be Batman? What?
He's just lifting in the dark, getting,
Well, I think that's really what killed it for a lot of people. Like, it would have been a tolerable story if not for that, and then that's kind of what sealed it.
Like, having read it, like, seeing all that and understanding is like, Hugo is in the mindset that he thinks that he is more mentally equipped to be Batman than Batman.
Yeah.
So, like, I can see that. Hence his motivation to get, like, fucking ripped. Not sure how I felt about that.
You're totally not Reverse Flash.
Right?
Yeah.
Revenge work.
But, okay, so...
Alright, what's the story about?
Okay, the story... it starts like there's these 4 bodies laying in the morgue. There's some dialogue going on, then out of nowhere, the bodies just start to sizzle and change. And it's these 4 bodies that become the monster men of the story. Okay. One becomes this, and they're all fucking huge. Okay, like these are like towering skyscraper-esque sized.
They got powers like the aliens in Space Jam, where they grow 10 times their size, and
give or take.
Monsters.
Like the first one they encounter is an infant. Like it looks like a baby.
Oh, but that's how they get you.
and you know, of course, the team they take it down, they subdue it, and all that, and it's just down and out in the streets.
They defeat the baby, right?
So yeah, they slap it and they tell it no. They put it in this corner and it's done with.
Next,
you know,
whole story's over. Wrapped up. Wrapped up in 4 panels.
All of this takes place over one night. And we've got like the whole team from Detective Cops. We've got Batwoman, Spoiler, Orphan, Clayface. Tim Drake's not there because everyone thinks he's dead, but not really.
Yeah, you're that far. You know that.
Yeah.
Would have been a lot cooler if Ash was there. Am I right?
No, he'd be dead.
Maybe. An alternate universe.
But that dude's been up against the watch.
Yeah. And from where this spans the Batman and Nightwing books, of course, Batman and Nightwing are there. Right. Duke is in there as he doesn't have his name yet.
Not yet.
But he's Batman's protege still at that point.
He's going to be called the Signal.
Yeah, that's what I couldn't think of what he eventually is called.
Yeah, he's not called that yet, but it's coming.
Yeah. So like him and Alfred are in the Batcave. They're trying to figure out like the DNA analysis and everything of what's going on with these creatures. And they figure out that, like, Strange is the one behind it all. He's gotten a modified venom formula from Santa Presta.
Santa
Presca.
Yeah.
Whatever. With the venom formula that Bane uses. It's a modified version of that has turned these creatures turned these people into these giant creatures.
Goddamn, Bane's a monster, man.
Yeah. But so there's the first monster, the baby monster that they take down. The next one comes up and it's this like demon-y looking creature that keeps just growing more heads on its neck.
That's pretty gross.
But they're like through the book, like towards the end of the arc, you find out that all of these creatures represent what Hugo Strange deems a part of Batman's weakness, part of his psyche that he's running from.
He's got phobia against extra heads.
Something like that was the cool one. Like that was one of the coolest like takedown scenes in this. Was Batman and Batwoman taking this thing down on these new bat cycles. They're like testing all kinds of shit in the field.
I always love their new tech.
Yeah, like these things haven't been in the field yet, and they're using them, and they're like, it's field testing, it's fine. Like they just do that over and over. And Duke is on comms. He's like, but this isn't gonna work. It's only supposed to. It's field testing. It's fine. And then like Spoiler and Orphan, they take a bunch of residents of Gotham up to a cave outside of Gotham so that the residents will be safe from the hurricane first, the monster second. Like, all of this happens during a fucking hurricane coming into Gotham. So that adds, like...
Yeah, I forgot that was part of it.
Yeah. Like, and they're saying that it could rival the 0-year flood that happened and all that. Well, like, okay, so there's the second monster with the 5 heads. They finally take it down. Nightwing gets word that there's a creature at Blackgate Prison. So he heads there. Gotham Girl... who's still in the Batcave because she's all fucked up mentally from, what is it, Psycho Pirate?
Yeah, Psycho Pirate.
Like, she heads out there and she's, like, beating these, like, demon dogs and shit, throwing prisoners against the wall, and Nightwing has to, like, calm her down 3 or 4 times. And then they come across the actual monster who's...
Number 3, right?
Yeah, it's the third monster, and it's supposed to... I think this one's supposed to represent fear. The thing is like, have you ever seen any of those, like... You have this entity, and then it's got, like, this giant ass that's excreting its young?
No, I don't have that happen.
I
don't have that.
Just last week.
like you've never seen like a hive queen or anything represented.
That's more relatable.
Like that's kind of what this thing is. It's producing all these arms. Gotham Girl just walks up to it and rips its fucking arms off. And like she's like, I'm not afraid of you. You know, you can't control all this and that, and just rips it in half.
No.
And its blood gets all over Gotham Girl and Nightwing and turns them into monsters.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yeah, so like Nightwing's this like bat-esque monster. Gotham Girl's this weird like no.
He's got one weird Robin wing hanging out, as like a reference to
like truth be told, I enjoyed the visuals of this whole.
It sounds cool.
Like,
yeah, it looked great.
The way the creatures looked and everything. And even still, the story, I enjoyed the story behind it. But like Spoiler and Orphan, they taking all these people to the cave. That's where the fourth monster was, but they didn't realize it.
Yeah.
The monster was in the cave, and it kept putting like this algae fungus stuff on all the people in there, making them go like get super aggressive and turn against each other.
Mad cow.
So
now it should be noticed another thing about this story that's a little innovative, and you got to give it props for it, is the DC universe doesn't normally deal with this type of stuff. This isn't Marvel where they've got Fin Fang Foom and fucking Galactus the World Eater and shit. Like, they're used to monsters and like big fuckers and stuff.
Yeah.
No, I think they even reference it in the story a couple times. Like, they've never dealt with this. Like they don't know what to do.
We've dealt with monsters. I think the line was something like, we've all dealt with our own monsters or something like that. But
this is referencing people like the Joker and shit like that. Yeah.
But this is something completely new.
Yeah, these are actual monsters.
But
Godzilla
they're not completely unprepared for, which I'll get to in a second, which I thought was kind of cool. But I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
So the monster that Spoiler and Orphan are having to deal with, like, it's making all these people like aggressive and saying all this and that. So like the GCPD's there trying to help keep the peace. This algae touches them, they just join the crowd, and all this is going on. Spoiler is like of the intelligence level almost to that of Tim Drake. So and we all know how fucking smart Tim Drake is.
Yeah.
So she puts up a big fucking net to hold all the people back, just so that she can get a minute to think. And she's like, she comes to the conclusion she needs to raise the temperature in the cave to 130 degrees, so that way it'll just burn off the algae. And so her and Orphan go through, and they just put a shit ton of flares all through this cave. Like, they're dodging people, all this and that, and they have flare after flare after flare planted. And eventually it works. And this algae drops off of all the people, and it forms into the final monster. Like, it all, like, oozes in and forms into the final monster, which is this, like, shadowy, like, almost Nosferatu-faced kind of creature with trees coming out of its back. And it heads to Gotham to take out Nightwing and Orphan, who are now devising a plan, now that everyone else in the cave is safe, to figure out what's going on, how they can save everything. Because, backtrack a little bit, Duke was like, fuck you, Batman, I know what to do, I'm coming in to help.
Yeah.
And defies Batman completely, and comes in with a way to reverse what happened to Gotham Girl and Nightwing, which allows Nightwing and Spoiler to devise a plan and come up with a way to take care of all this. So what ends up happening is the big one with the trees on his back gets electrocuted to fucking shit. They're like, okay, it's Strange behind all this. This is what's going on. Batman, you know what you need to do. And they activate the Gotham Watchtower protocol.
Yep.
Which... apparently there are now 4 buildings in Gotham that have different symbols for the Bat family on them, which there may be more than 4, because there are more than 4 members of the Bat family.
Gotta have
But
more.
at first I thought, are they about to form a Bat Megazord? Which I kind of wanted to happen, just to see a Bat Megazord. But it was basically these giant...
Well, hey, at the beginning of Metal, we got... we did get the Justice League Megazord. So.
The Justice Zord. The Justice Megazord.
Yeah, that was cool.
But it's these, like, giant artillery lines on top of these buildings, which is what Batman is calling Gotham's last line of defense. That Nightwing is like, you know what you have to do. Yeah. So they do, and they're able to subdue what has now become the giant monster that all 4 of these monsters have now meshed together to make. And it's they all meshed into the first one, the baby one, and made like a giant baby Zilla monster, while Batman is on his way to confront Hugo Strange. They're shooting at it, tying it down, doing all this to it, and they realize that nothing's working. They have the antidote, the solution, like the cure, whatever you want to call it, but they can't pierce its skin. There's nothing they can do. Batman's over here confronting Hugo Strange, who is in a Batman outfit, saying that I'm the only sane person left in Gotham. I have conditioned my brain. I am going to be Batman after tonight. And Batman is just keep telling because Hugo keeps bringing up all the people that Batman has failed, like Tim, the other members of the Bat family, the people in Gotham, all that. Batman's just like, shut up. Shut up. I said shut up. And he lunges at Hugo, and it goes back to Nightwing. He's like, I know what I have to do. And he runs across this fucking, like, what do you call it? It's a line to hold the monster steady.
Oh, the tow cable?
Yeah, it kind of like a tow cable, yeah. An anchor line.
Okay.
He runs across this to the monster and jumps in its fucking mouth.
That's what I would do.
Just like does like his flying Grayson leap.
I'm surprised they didn't come up with that solution earlier.
Right? I mean, anytime Dick goes in a mouth, it works.
I didn't even think of that. How did
the solution is always put your dick in the mouth.
So, wink to the readers there.
Oh my god, I don't know if they meant to do that or not. Holy shit.
They put the dick in the mouth.
You know what? I take it back. This is the greatest fucking Batman story of all time.
It was just too much for this giant creature to handle, and it puked everywhere.
Oh, man.
Like, it puked in the bay, everything.
Oh, geez.
Because when Dick jumped in its mouth...
Yeah. Say it just like that.
Hi, guys. We're grown-ass adults.
But you might not be. We hope.
Oh, fuck.
So, when Nightwing
we gotta stop hitting this table.
When Nightwing jumped in his mouth, he had the solution with him, which he then used from the inside because they couldn't pierce its skin, thus fixing the problem. And Batman, without Hugo's knowing, had Clayface like melt over top of the building that Hugo Strange was in, and thus causing Hugo to almost suffocate, because Batman can survive without air longer than Hugo Strange. And that's basically how it finished out. Like, it was kind of... Like, it had the climax right there at the end, with Batman, like, punching the wall instead of Hugo.
Oh, yeah.
With Nightwing jumping into this monster to cure it, whatever, and all that. But then, all is well, the Justice League is cleaning up Gotham, and the 4 men that turned into the monsters now have proper burials. And Hugo Strange is in a very secure site that's not Arkham or Blackgate. So that's basically how it ended. And all in all, I enjoyed it. I kind of wish I wouldn't have skipped it when it was current. But it pertained to nothing in the ongoing stories.
Yeah, right.
But it was fun. Unlike you, I thought the Hugo wanting to be Batman, I thought that was kind of an interesting take. One of the lines that actually stuck out to me from Hugo to Batman was like, said something along the lines of, I'm here now. And Hugo's like, no, you're here finally. Or like, we're face to face finally. Or something along those lines of like, Batman finally made time to confront Hugo Strange. Like, instead of like...
Okay, I may have overlooked that. That does kind of change a little.
Yeah,
just a little bit, but I'm still not totally
it almost seems like Hugo has prepared for this so much, and like in doing these giant monsters, Batman finally takes the time to seek out Strange.
Yeah. Okay. Well, do you have another one, or was that
that
was the last one?
that
Yeah, that's what I thought. You were only doing one story, but all right, guys. So now that we've retired these to the short box, you know what time it is.
It's time for the news, the phone booth news.
That's right, guys. It's Phone Booth News, where we try to give you the news faster than Deadpool can save the day, which gives us about 3 minutes, 45 seconds. So, we get prepped here, and whenever you're ready with the button, Odle.
And call.
In TV news, Sci-Fi's new show based on the graphic novel Happy released its first trailer starring Chris Maloney and Patton Oswalt, and this airs on December 6th. Luke Cage released a photo from Season 2 featuring Danny Rand and Luke together, but no other information is known. Constantine has been confirmed to appear in Season 3 of Legends of Tomorrow, with Matt Ryan returning to his role.
Yes!
As well as a preview for the Constantine animated series coming to CWC in 2018. Stop making fun of me. In okay news, Rick and Morty fans rejoice because McDonald's is bringing back Szechuan sauce again, this time in larger quantities.
For a longer period of time.
Yes. In comics news, DC announced the return of both Vertigo and Milestone imprints. Milestone will see the return of Static Shock, the launch of new titles, and establish Earth M. DC also revealed, in celebration of Action Comics number 1000, they'll be releasing the 80th anniversary hardcover book that'll revisit major Action Comics moments, include classic Superman stories, literary essays, a poster incorporating all 1000 Action Comics covers, and an unpublished 1940s Superman story.
Wow.
Yeah, Action Comics 1000 itself will be an oversized issue that'll include a Superman story written by Jeff Johns and Richard Donner.
Nice.
So that's one to get. Jeff Johns also revealed the first 6 pages of Doomsday Clock number 1 at New York City Comic Con, and those are available online now.
Oh, yeah.
Jim
Palmiotti.
Paul Palmiotti, Jim Palmiotti, and Amanda Connor will be exiting Harley Quinn after issue 34. Replacing them will be writer Frank Terry and artist Inaki Miranda, and with Amanda Connor doing the covers. In movie news, Jim Lee is illustrating the Steelbook Collector's editions of Man of Steel and BVS, which will be out October 31st, which is why I'm waiting to get BVS. It looks amazing. The English Pokemon I Choose You trailer is out now, as well as a Pacific Rim Uprising trailer.
Yes.
Pokemon is in theaters November 5th
What
and
are
6th.
these things that we can talk about?
Pacific Rim is March 23rd, 2018. We only have so much show. Keanu Reeves revealed that the script for Bill and Ted 3 is finished, and the movie has even got a title, Bill and Ted Face the Music. However, studios don't seem to be interested. Finally, Teen Titans Go to the movies cast Will Arnett and Kristen Bell recently, but more surprisingly is that there's a Teen Titans Go movie in development. And that's the news.
I bet Will Arnett plays Batman.
All right!
I bet Will Arnett plays Batman that comes in because he's been doing all the Batman shit.
You know what? That would really be a great idea.
Have they put Batman in Teen Titans?
I don't know if he's shown up. I don't like the show.
I know they talk about the Batmobile.
He's shown up in Teen Titans Go, but it's been like
it should be Will Arnett.
a scene, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay. So, Trap, you brought up why can't we talk about these things? I know there's so much fucking news.
Okay,
though. We can only do so much in so
I
little
do
time.
need to bring up the fact that you were talking
We're
about.
gonna talk about everything you just talked about.
You were talking about like they're bringing back,
Yeah.
like they're bringing back Vertigo and all that. They're
Yep.
bringing back Elseworlds.
Oh, are they?
They are bringing back Elseworlds.
Was that like earlier today or something?
Someone.
Because I did not see that.
In one of the groups I'm in, it helps me stay caught up almost as much as you
Vinny
do.
has a literal live stream of all their news in his glasses.
Oh no! I feel like this would have been something that would have made bigger splash. I haven't seen it at all.
Recent
Yeah.
or something coming up soon in DC that's been announced is I don't think it's officially labeled an Elseworld story, but it's a one shot. It's an Elseworld story.
They should just fucking do it now. I mean, they got Batman the White Knight out. which is perfect for Elseworlds. Like, I mean, now, all right, we say like it's perfect for Elseworlds. That doesn't mean anything really. The title Elseworlds would probably just be a nostalgic cash grab because Elseworlds was alternate universes of the DC universe, and so Batman the White Knight falls under that, idea. All these Dark Knights tie-ins like Dawnbreaker and the Red Death, those fall under that, that title. So technically, it's already back. It's never really went away. It's just the label went away. But yeah. Oh, and by the way, guys, after this, we're gonna watch that Pokemon I Choose You trailer.
Don't do that to me again.
Oh, did you see it already?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great. Travis,
I watched it.
You watched it too?
We watched it, man.
Fucking love it. I'm gonna love it.
It's already out. Like one of the ones is already out.
Yeah.
It's a.
I already watched it in English.
Not that. I'm talking about. I'm still on the Elseworlds thing.
Oh, okay.
There's a 6-issue.
Catch the fuck up. We're gonna have so much show.
There's a Nightwing.
Just told Travis.
There's a Nightwing 6-issue thing going on called Nightwing.
I saw that too.
That's essentially an Elseworlds. Yeah, they didn't give me a number one.
They didn't give you a number one. Fuck, you were the way I was gonna read it.
I have to check some of my last things. Yeah. But I'm pretty confident I didn't get a number one.
Yeah, you should go seek that one out. All right. Anyways, so that's the phone booth news, guys. I'm really surprised I got that one in time. Like that.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm getting better and better at that.
He's going to be hired to do auctions.
Right? Okay, so now that brings us into the big two things. And this is why we can't talk about all this news. Because there always seems to be like one or two huge fucking things that come out. And we got some big ones just now. All right, guys, stop with the Instagram
hashtag rivalry.
I can't even join in because I'm running the show here. God.
Rivalry.
Fuck the rivalry. That is great. Yeah, right now they're posting on our Instagram
while we do the podcast.
Yeah, it's a whole war. I guess I started it unwittingly. Anyways, okay, so the two big ones. I think everyone can guess this. The Justice League trailer came out, and the Last Jedi trailer came out. Now, obviously, the Last Jedi is going to be the big one, but Justice League trailer, did you both watch it?
Yeah, I've seen Justice League trailer. It was pretty crazy.
Well, the first thing I noticed about this trailer, it's more colorful.
Yeah.
Like when you're, no matter where you are, when you're underwater. And I saw where someone had compared the first trailer shots that were in this trailer to the ones now, where they were all dark and blue and black, and now they're red. Yeah, now they're reddish and shit. So yeah, they've obviously made some fucking changes. It's definitely going to be a brighter movie.
Good.
Even though Zack Snyder is getting full credit for directing this, like a lot of that is probably because of Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's brighter. It looks like a fucking mess. Yeah.
Yeah,
it does.
I still can't tell what to predict from it.
Yeah.
Really.
You can tell, like, okay, this is the same thing with BVS, and this is what I've already said this on the podcast about the first trailer that came out. I'm gonna love the action. Yeah, the ending, like, where they're all going fucking, like, fighting the parademons, they're fighting Steppenwolf. That's gonna be fucking cool.
Is that the problem most DC fans have? Like, I'm now thinking about it. Anytime the action does come up, it's like, oh yeah, it's really good. And then you're like, waiting the whole time through most of the story.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the problem: is like they have
shit on the rest of the
movie.
So
far, outside of Wonder Woman, they've really weakly constructed stories. They try and shove too much in there too quick. And then we get to the action, and then we're like, holy fuck, Batman is beating the shit out of Superman. Uh-oh, wait a minute, the kryptonite should wore off. Now Batman's fucking afraid. Even though it's, we get through all this bullshit.
So much.
And then we get these cool fucking action scenes, and it tricks us into thinking it's a good movie for a minute. And then, we start actually thinking about the movie.
Even though I haven't seen the Wonder Woman movie yet, just yet, I do plan on purchasing that soon. But she seems like a really well-rounded character, even throughout the trailers.
Well,
and for some reason, I always trusted her during the Batman vs. Superman. I was like, this is gonna be good.
She
Seen
and
the picture.
Superman are the only ones who have their own movies.
Yeah, that's true.
They're the only ones that have developmental movies.
Yeah, I do
And while
like
people
both
have
of them a lot.
Yeah, while people have a problem with Man of Steel, I liked Man of Steel well enough. I see where it's flawed, but Wonder Woman was great.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was
Like-
awesome. Now the fight scene at the end with Ares.
He hasn't seen it yet.
Well, I'm just saying. Okay, the bad guy's Ares. Sorry, like I don't think that's gonna ruin
I guess you
anything.
didn't give away as much as I
But
thought.
what I was
Since
gonna
I
say
know.
is that the fight scene at the end is like riddled with Snyderisms and stuff. Even though he didn't make the
Snyder
film,
remarks.
even though he didn't make the film, it reeks of like his touch. I think it was. Wasn't he a producer on it?
I think so.
Yeah. So.
But,
Hashtag Snyder
I mean,
remarks.
okay. So back to Justice League.
Yeah, back to Justice League.
The overall tone is great. Like we see a lot more Cyborg in this.
Yeah, and this one felt. This trailer felt a little more dire.
Everything I see from Cyborg in any of the trailers has always just got me pumped for that Cyborg origin,
really
man.
Cool. I don't know much about his role in this, really, but like they haven't given too much. Like where they've given us plenty of Aquaman and plenty of Flash, the Cyborg's been way played down.
Yeah, I wonder if the
makes me
rest of the
intrigued.
community is as interested in Cyborg as like a lot of people.
Well,
that's how I feel.
I mean,
I
he's such
believe
a
so.
played down character.
He's become a very
one of my
popular
favorites.
DC Comics character, though. That's why he's a member of the Justice League now, not being rehashed for the Teen Titans every 12 seconds like fucking Beast Boy. You know?
Yeah.
Or Starfire. Like, Starfire, like, in the DC universe is an established older character. Like, she shouldn't be with the Teen Titans.
She's a grown-ass woman.
She's a grown-ass woman, but she's still in the Teen Titans. So...
But she's
like, I've earned my place, damn it.
She's
and I'm
their
gonna teach
den
you guys."
mother.
Yeah, more or less. Like, the actual Teen Titans didn't have that, back in her day. Back in her day, they had Batman kind of popping in, telling what to do every now and then.
Hey, guys, stop fucking up.
Yeah, but otherwise they were just left to their own devices. So
You guys like some of the comedy in the trailer, though?
it looks cool.
yeah.
I mean,
Like,
I don't really need comedy from the Justice League. Though. Like, I mean, it's there.
I think it was
I want there to be a little bit, but
trailer
it
candy.
seems like it seems like they're gonna. The way they've been presenting it seems like it's gonna be a big element in this film.
Well,
I don't want.
you can tell that Flash is going to be the comedic relief.
The
Which,
Flash.
okay,
Dude,
Okay.
you
Barry
got your
Allen-
own sign.
like Barry Allen is the most lighthearted member of the Justice League. We can.
I love him.
Green Arrow, but he's not in this.
I
movie.
love
I was
him in
gonna
the
say.
comic books, man. As much as I've read about Barry Allen lately, it's
okay,
like
Younger Barry
he's
Allen.
pretty awesome.
You know,
I like
early
him.
on Barry Allen
Yeah.
is a very lighthearted individual and all that.
he makes his jokes now in the comics and
Yeah.
stuff too, but
So
he's not like this though. This is Stoner Flash.
Hashtag Stoner Flash.
Hashtag Stoner Flash. We're just dropping the hashtag.
and it's okay. On top of that, why does Aquaman just kind of sound like a cross
my God.
between a hilljack and a beach bum?
He's a total bro. He's a total bro.
My man.
My man.
My man. Oh yeah.
That's like 90% of his dialogue so far. Outside of like,
Dude, I hope all he says for like most of his lines is "my man."
well, there's that one shot in the trailer where he's
My
like,
man.
there's a saying that says, "A strong man's strongest when he's alone." He totally like, and the Batman's like, "No, that's actually the opposite one." Like, he's a total bro. He's a frat guy. Like,
Yeah.
Like, even
Like-
when he gets dialogue outside of a one-word situation, he fucks it up.
Batman's gonna have to show him the thing with the sticks from Planet of the Apes, where you put more sticks together, it gets harder to break. You know? Aquaman, do you get it now?
You get it?
I feel like
Oh,
Aquaman, like, okay, getting Jason Momoa to play Aquaman, iffy at first, but like, okay.
It gave you a
It
certain
can-
idea of what they were going to do, for sure.
Yeah.
But to this extent, holy shit, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, for what we've seen, like what we know, Jason Momoa is Khal Drogo from Game of Thrones and Conan from the newest Conan the Barbarian movie.
Yeah.
You know, so those are the kind of roles that he's most recognized for.
Yeah, but I mean,
and now
Khal Drogo is nothing like this fucking guy.
Yeah,
Like,
but he has a certain respect and like a higher status kind of thing.
Yeah. And he's playing
in a different kind of world. Even.
He's playing Arthur Curry.
This motherfucker is supposed to be the king of Atlantis.
Yeah.
He's one of the most serious members of the Justice League. I mean, so many times he's actually stood against the Justice League.
I've seen him
because of siding with Atlantis, like putting his kingdom first.
Yeah, man, I've seen him with a hook hand and all kinds of shit.
Like, he's not this guy, so they fucked Aquaman up.
Like, and I just kind of hope it's one of those like moment of elation in battle. Like, he's just high on the thrill of battle that he's doing this. And all the rest, because
it should be playful.
Even from what we've seen of him outside of battle, it just doesn't seem that way.
The scene that I'm banking on, like, a couple of the scenes I'm banking on are, like, when Batman first confronts him and, he chokes Batman and all that. Ooh, and, like, he's in the ocean, like, just the waves crash behind him, but he's still standing.
Yeah.
And, like, all that. Like, those are what I'm banking on to get a good Arthur Curry.
Back to Flash. When the first trailer came out, when we were getting all the first stuff, I didn't like the Flash. I had a big problem.
I liked him as soon as I seen him in Batman vs Superman. Wait, am I too early? Yeah, I'm too early.
With a fucking mustache for some reason.
Yeah.
I also dug the scene in Suicide Squad where he catches Captain Boomerang.
Yeah.
But
that was
now
cool.
Here's the thing: him as the Flash, like in action, that is totally grown on me.
Yeah.
I dig those scenes, but he's still
he's lacking luster in the character.
I know that this is a
film.
Yeah, I know that this is a different universe. I know that this is Zack Snyder's vision. They're not doing the comic book characters according to the comic book characters. But this is our first Justice League. I can't get over it. I can't get over the fact that we're getting these manipulated characters before getting the ones we've all read and loved.
For some odd reason, I kind of took the kind of empathy I took with like Spider-Man when I read some of Barry Allen's story with the Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Where he's dealing with having to choose whether to like kill his mom and restore the
honestly, at times I think
he's kind
the
of
Flash
like a
is
sad
kind of
guy.
like the Spider-Man-esque character in the DC universe, but like on a whole nother level because he deals with time travel and shit.
Yeah.
So
I can't take him totally cocky. I need to respect.
I think Spider-Man has traveled through time once or twice. The more we get from this, the more I know exactly what I'm gonna get. Joss Whedon coming in, I'm sure, improved the film.
Oh, yeah.
But I still stand by, this is not going to be a great movie. This is going to be stupid. And the action's going to be amazing. And I'm going to fucking love it. I'm going to love those fight scenes. I'm going to be so happy during them. And then we'll get back to the story stuff, and I'll sit through it. I'll just sit back and let it happen to me.
I'm banking on it probably being a hit.
Oh yeah.
It'll be
it's going to make its money. Don't get me wrong. I mean, people didn't like Suicide Squad. People didn't like Batman vs. Superman. And people didn't like Man of Steel. But look, Man of Steel made its money.
Yeah.
And people didn't like it. Then BVS comes out, and people are like, oh, well, Man of Steel sucked. But they all went to see BVS. And then they're like, BVS sucked. But they all went to see Suicide Squad. And then Suicide Squad sucked. And they all went to see Wonder Woman. So it's going to make its money.
I got to see this movie that's going to suck.
You're right.
I got to see it.
I got to see it. Well, and I mean, that's also good reason to go give them this money, too. Because it is the first Justice League movie ever. In what? Almost 100 years of this company being around. The Justice League's, around 70 years old? 70, 75?
Something along those lines, yeah.
In 70 years, this is the first time we've ever gotten a Justice League movie.
Live action.
Go see it.
I was going to say...
I'm telling you right now, this movie's going to suck. The action's going to be amazing. Go see it because it's the first Justice League.
I like the Justice League and the Lego Batman movie. Having a party. It was pretty fun.
Of course.
I think the reason we will encourage people to see this is because if people go and see this, we're going to continue to get more, and they're going to improve.
Maybe
they
Wonder
have
Woman.
to improve.
Wonder Woman was a great step forward. We should get some good stuff based on that.
Yeah.
And the more we remove Zack Snyder from the element, like the Zack Snyder element, the better it will get. Yeah.
The best way to improve stuff like that is to actually go see the movie instead of downloading it.
Yeah. And we want more, because even if they eventually they reboot everything, they recast everything, they just start a new universe, cinematic universe.
Batman
it'll be because
Superman,
of
the
yeah.
remake.
But if they fail at this, if this falls apart and they don't make their money, they're gonna fuck it. Yeah, we'll be waiting years again.
Like, you know, we're on our third round of Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was about to talk
all
about
of the other Spider-Man movies made their money back and more.
We were super happy when we got the first one. It's like bam, bam, and then oops on the third.
Plus, they're just not giving up on the Spider-Man.
They're not.
Yeah,
Sony will not give up on Spider-Man.
They finally hit their stride with it. You know,
with Homecoming,
with Homecoming, Civil War,
hit a good streak.
Infinity War coming up, and all that. So we know it can be done.
Yeah, right.
But without the support of the fans.
And I mean, look at the state the Marvel movies.
You're talking about Marvel, yeah.
Before 2008. I mean, look at the first Punisher movie, and I'm not talking Thomas Jane here.
You're talking the
Dolph
Lundgren. Yeah. Look at the first Fantastic Four movie. Not talking about the one with Jessica Alba. That one was so bad. It was made for TV. It was only ever released once, and then they pulled it forever. Yeah. It's not even on DVD as far as
Wait, you say Dolph Lundgren?
I had to download. I have the Dolph Lundgren one.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah. No, I'm also talking about the Fantastic Four movie that came out. Yeah.
Truth be
and
told,
then the old Captain America.
Well, I was gonna say
I've seen the Dolph Lundgren Punisher.
That's on DVD at Walmart.
It's okay.
It's a movie. Okay, it's an 80s action flick.
It's okay at best, but it's not the Punisher.
No.
Although I did find out that the whole meditating naked thing, that was a Punisher thing for a minute. Yeah.
Phased out during the 80s.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so look at what Marvel did in 2008, and even 4 years before that, they had the Incredible Hulk movie, or no, it was just called Hulk, and that was a huge piece of shit. Oh
my god!
So
they have officially, they're like, this doesn't exist. They have stated on more than one occasion. This movie
because
never happened.
Not a thing.
We didn't make that movie.
Oh,
nobody ever made that movie.
Just like how
what you're talking about.
Nintendo bought the rights to the first Super Mario Brothers porno, and they're like, they bought the rights that way it would never get out. Like that.
Yeah.
But we're still talking about it today.
Right. Can't hide it from us. All right. So Justice League. That was the thing. More importantly, let's get to something that is going to be amazing. Oh my god, this trailer. Okay, so I think the best way you can lead us into this is by playing this clip from a message I sent. I recorded, right after the trailer ended, I recorded this little 15-second video of myself, and I sent it to Bob and Odle. And so I'm going to go ahead and play this for you guys right now.
No, what? No, hey, no, what? 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 Huh? No, fuck the Star Wars show. I don't want to watch that right now. Fuck, what?
Yeah, so that was the whole thing. I was freaking out because the ending of that trailer.
Right?
Because you don't know. Oh my god, is she going to turn to Kylo Ren's side? Is she finally bringing him to hers? Because we don't, because there's that part where...
Why aren't you recording?
I am recording right now.
You're not.
Yeah, we're good. Because there's that part where he's about to kill Leia. At least I assume that's what's going on in the scene.
Does he second guess himself?
Yeah. Does he not kill her? Does he kill her? Because we know she's not going to be in episode 9. They already released that Leia will not be a part of episode 9.
Okay.
They were originally trying to put her in episode 9, but she died, and they only had so much to work with.
Man, they hologrammed Tupac on stage.
Now here's something that I've seen people bring up, and every single Star Wars poster, movie cover, everything. The villain is always the big face, like the big thing in the background. It's always the villain. In this one, it's Luke.
Yeah, but they're saying the whole
is in
shape.
red in the background,
Yeah.
like every villain from every movie has been so far up to this point.
But they're saying the whole shape of all the characters on the cover of the poster is what makes up Darth Vader's face.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that.
But then you look at the first poster that they put out.
But it's literally
the really cool painting version one.
Yeah.
With Luke, and it's Luke and Kylo Ren half-faced in the background.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that, that could track. Yeah.
Antagonist kind of.
Who knows? Yeah, maybe Luke's the bad guy here, and he's kind of shitty throughout this entire trailer.
He is.
You know, I don't know who he's talking to when he says this isn't going to go the way you think, but he seems really fucking mad.
He's like, you must embrace your destiny.
When he no, that was Snoke saying that.
Was that?
Yeah.
Why did they sound the same?
I don't know. That wasn't, but that was
Is Luke Snoke?
All right.
No, come on now. But
fan theories.
Oh my god! Then there's a part where she's meditating and she breaks the ground. And he gets fucking scared, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna be such an awesome scene. And then you got the ATM-6s, and that's gonna be such an awesome scene.
It was cool just even hearing this is the first time you hear his lines.
No, you heard him speak in the last trailer too.
Oh, okay.
You heard them, but like this is the first time we really see Luke interacting with things in a trailer.
Yeah,
well, I've seen the last Star Wars so many times, and all I've really got, other than I think the one time I watched the last trailer, is just them staring at each other at the end of the last movie.
Yeah,
and no lines.
In the last trailer, I think
finally,
the only thing that Luke says is it's at the beginning of the trailer. He's like, feel, don't think is Qui-Gon Jinn. He's like, breathe, just breathe. What do you see? And she says, light, darkness, and then he says, it's so much bigger. Oh. And I think that's all we hear from him in that trailer.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So I don't. Yeah, I mean, it was really cool to actually see him like doing stuff and interacting with Rey, but oh man, it was interacting with Rey. But way to disrupt the podcast so you can Snapchat. Fucking asshole.
It's to Bob. It's all right.
Yeah. We're supposed to be an energy to this part, and you guys are fucking social mediaing. Like, sorry, yeah, like
somebody's got to be on point.
the end of this trailer has me completely fucking thrown off right now.
Yeah, I mean, okay, you have your things like, you see Poe doing his thing. I think they show him in this trailer just being a pilot. I think that's the only time they see him. Yeah, Poe's a fun pilot.
He's a pilot. Like there's the one scene where he's like looking out the side of a ship or something. Yeah. But that's about it. I mean, okay, we know Poe's not in a coma anymore.
Yeah.
Not Poe.
Finn's not in a coma we're getting an idea of where Finn's story is going because we get to see him, like, he's got that fucking stun baton, which was so cool for The Force Awakens. Oh. And now he's taking on Phasma, which, holy shit, that's going to be cool, too.
I can't wait for that.
He seems very novice to me, though. Finn?
Oh, God, yeah.
He's hella novice. And then Captain Phasma? Maybe the end of Finn.
Okay. See, now this is something I think this got brought up on the podcast like a while back around the time of The Force Awakens and stuff. We brought that up before too, but you really got to think about Finn, as he is. He is a trained stormtrooper. He's a great shot. Yeah. Like when you see him in those scenes where he's shooting stormtroopers, he's tactful.
He's a good stormtrooper.
Yeah, when he takes on that one, the one guy, he's using a lightsaber. When he takes on the guy with the stun baton, he's using a lightsaber. This is a weapon he's not trained with. Like, there's no reason why they would train him with his weapon because this weapon is gone.
Yeah,
and nobody has a fucking lightsaber anymore. So he's not trained with that weapon. They don't use swords, so why would he know how to properly do that? So of course the other guy gets the upper hand on him. But now we've got him taking on another stormtrooper with a stun baton, a weapon he's used to. in this trailer, I didn't get the whole novice thing. I see where you're coming from, but only based off of the stuff of The Force Awakens. I mean, he gets his ass
Maybe
kicked.
it's just him getting scared so easily most of the time. It seems like he's like very nervous.
Yeah,
well, when you're a stormtrooper and you decide to like, oh, fuck these guys that I've been with since I was born.
Yeah. Because he knows this whole thing and he wants out. He's the first stormtrooper to want out. So plus when he gets his ass handed to him by Kylo Ren, again, he's up against a highly trained friggin' Knight of Ren who knows how to use a lightsaber, and here he is again using a lightsaber, a weapon he knows shit about. So of course he's gonna get fucked up. I'm surprised he didn't die. But those circumstances are why he comes off that way. I feel like in this movie we're gonna get a much more well-rounded Finn. We're seeing his story play out, but
we're gonna get.
If he doesn't kill Phasma, then I can see more story for him to play out. But if he does kill Phasma in this, I kind of feel like Finn's part is done. Like that's the logical conclusion to his training.
Honestly, I could see Phasma. I could see him showing mercy. I could see him showing mercy to Phasma. And that coming back to bite him in the ass.
Yeah. I feel that. Either way, it's going to be a cool scene because obviously it's taking place on a Star Destroyer or something like that because you see where they're at. It's one of those hangars, and he's in his First Order gear that him and that new character, I don't know what her name is yet, but they showed her in the first trailer. I don't believe we saw her in this one. But they get into that elevator. Or no, it was during the behind-the-scenes trailer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they get into that elevator, and it's him and this other girl from the Resistance. And so it's obviously taking place in that time frame and shit. So it's going to be a really fucking cool scene. I'm excited to see Finn take on Phasma.
Porgs!
Fucking porgs on the Millennium Falcon. Woo! Yeah! Okay, so there's so much shit going around this point. All it is in the trailer is Chewbacca saying something, and then the porg is like, and we're all like,
that's it. My man.
The porg. Guys, the porg is a total bro in this movie.
He gets down with the rest of them.
The porgs we've gotten in the comic book.
Typical porg.
Typical porg. No, it's a fucking adorable. But they keep saying, I think someone at Comic-Con during a panel said something about them, like, the porgs aren't what you think.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I don't know what that means. Are they bad guys? Has that porg taken over the Millennium Falcon?
I don't know if they have something against it.
I would be so okay with that.
That porg just bested Chewbacca and forced him to pilot the Millennium Falcon for his own fucking means.
I don't know if it was William Shatner posting a picture or not, but I think it was William Shatner, I guess, had posted a joke picture about the poster of the movie, and all their faces are replaced with porgs.
Well, now, okay, look at what we know about Ewoks now. When you first saw Ewok, well, okay, not us because we weren't born yet, but I'm sure people saw in the trailers for Jedi was like, oh man, those adorable little teddy bears. Look at those guys. Blah, blah, blah. They're going to be awesome. And then they're violent murder machines, So,
yeah, they could be.
My God. Who knows about these porgs?
Porgs just fucking eat people. They unhinge their jaws and eat people.
That's actually, that clip is from the end of the movie where the porg ate Rey. Oh, God.
No.
Nobody
is out threatening Chewbacca, who's terrified. And they have psychic powers. Oh, yeah. So, porgs. The whole next movie is going to be about the porgs.
Porg Awakening.
See, the Resistance doesn't win. The Resistance doesn't win. The First Order doesn't win.
The porgs win.
This summer, the last porg.
You know why it's called The Last Jedi? Because Luke refuses to get on the Millennium Falcon, and he's the last Jedi because the porg just ate Rey. So shit. All right. When he's talking about that raw strength, he's talking about the porgs.
Well,
not talking about
one other.
When he says, "I've seen this before," he's not talking about Kylo Ren. He's talking about the
That's
porgs.
when you get the jump scare from the porgs and they eat Luke Skywalker.
He's been trapped on that island. He hasn't been in isolation.
He was a slave to the porgs.
I don't know about you guys, but I would fucking watch that movie.
Yeah. So I want a porg side movie, a Star Wars Wars story, just about like evil porgs.
William Shatner would have to get credit for the.
William Shatner plays all the porgs.
We need like a porg horror movie.
Porg the horror.
You know what though?
movie.
You know what just occurred to me, and this is like so far from the trailers. We're I don't know where we're at now. I would love to see William Shatner cast in the next Star Wars movie. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be amazing? Because George Takei right now is trying to like bridge the gap between Star Trek and Star Wars fans.
Oh yeah.
He's like, it shouldn't be a war. It's all science fiction. Some people like one better. Some people like the other.
I'm definitely a fan of both.
I like both of them. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, so I would love to see Shatner, like, because that would do it. I feel like that,
The voice of a
or Patrick Stewart being in Star Wars, like one of those two guys getting cast in Star Wars would be the thing that bridged the gap.
I don't know if this will probably get shut down in general, but what if that is a nod towards Star Wars? Well, it definitely was William Shatner that put that poster.
Oh yeah, no, I mean like.
What if? That would be great.
I mean, it's not unheard of cast members from Star Trek to talk about Star Wars and make jokes about Star Wars or something like that. That's just a thing. People don't really give a shit. But
I mean, a lot of times people put on their Twitter or their Instagram, they'll show like stuff like the Green Lantern.
But if like Mark Hamill showed up on Star Trek Discovery and then William Shatner was in the next Star Trek movie, like people would be like, well, okay, maybe we can all come together. We just solved the Star Trek Wars crisis.
Star Trek Wars?
Star Trek /Wars. Anyways, yeah, so...
Star Trek Wars.
This movie, okay, like, unlike Justice League, I know I'm gonna fucking love this movie. I love Star Wars, and I've seen this trailer 8 times, like, at least, maybe more. Still got goosebumps watching it just before we recorded.
Oh yeah.
Still got goosebumps. I'm fucking so excited, and it's right around the corner.
He's got this trailer on tap right now. Just watching it whenever he needs a good bump of it.
Yeah, and I mean like the new ATM-6s. Those look so fucking cool. They're like guerrilla versions of the AT-ATs, which are in that scene.
AT-ATs with fists.
Yeah. They have these little like jagged things on the forearm of the front side. So obviously they can't be tripped. So we're not gonna see that again. Yeah, because they look like little vents that could like close and possibly cut the cables or whatever. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It looks so cool. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about from that trailer?
Porgs.
Fucking porgs!
Get ready for the last porg, guys.
Porgs! Yeah. Oh, they'll pull a Revenge of the Jedi.
Revenge of the Porg?
No, it was it was Revenge of the Sith, or something like that. The Return of the Jedi was called was called Revenge of the Jedi. It was originally called Revenge of the Jedi on the trailers, on the posters and stuff, and then somewhere along the way during the advertising, they renamed it Return of the Jedi.
Oh, Return.
Yeah. So that's what'll happen here. We've got The Last Jedi, and then like
last minute
next month they're gonna change it to like The Last Porg.
Yeah, you'll see it at the theater on the wall, and the poster and everything says The Last Porg.
Yeah, they'll just real quietly change it.
Everything you've heard has now been changed.
Porgs aren't what you think, Red. All right, guys. So I think this is the time we've got to wrap it up. Because we're about to do Commoner's Commentary, which I haven't decided if I'm going to release the day after this or that weekend or whatever. But new Commoner's Commentary is coming at you for Army of Darkness, because it's It's October.
Halloween.
It's Halloween.
Coming up. Yeah.
We're doing it.
Yeah, if you keep up with the hashtag rivalry, you may see some behind the scenes footage.
In keeping with the whole Halloween thing, the first Halloween thing we put out was our first serious shit of the month, and that was called Sexually Transmitted Curses.
Yeah.
Guys are gonna love this. The first, like, every time I've heard like the first 10 minutes of this, which is actually like 3 or 4 times, I've lost it. I think it's hilarious. So
Fucking Derek.
fucking Derek. So go check out that. Again, guys, like, comment, follow us,
Except
whatever.
Derek.
What do you think about the Porgs? What are your Porg theories? Let us know in the comments down below. And
Let us know if you got any porgography.
Porgography. that porgography.
Put it down in the comments.
Yeah, that'll. I don't have I thought I had a joke for a minute. Again, guys, my name is Vincent Herman, Vin the Human.
James Odle, Alpha Spectre.
Travis Herman, Dr. T. Neil.
And I think it's time to play that porg-tastic outro music. Are you fucking done, Trav?
When you get a new cat, you're gonna, need to be prepared for people to just want to pet it.
When I got that cat, I expected everyone to just never even acknowledge it.
Never talk about that cat.
When I stole this neighbor kid's cat.
This is practically what it is.
Trying to keep it on the down low, but everybody wants. And then he just keeps running. And
I don't know that song well enough.
I don't either.
we're pretty good.